Hey there, Julia here. Today we are doing something a little bit different. I wanted to share some inks that I love that are super dark and sexy, almost black. These would work in a professional setting, but still inject some fun into your fountain pens. Thanks to Molly for this idea because I really didn't want to choose my favorite straight up black inks. Honestly, I don't have too many of them, and the two that I use the most are this xMusk black fountain pen ink. It came with a really affordable and great fountain pen that I do have a video on. I'll leave it right there. But this is a great ink that I use for dipping, use for nib grind work, and I just leave it over here. And yeah, I reach for it all the time. And then also platinum carbon black. This is a waterproof black ink, and so you can use this for sketching, and then you can color on top of it or watercolor on top of it. And I always like to have a black waterproof ink inked up. I'm also working with Diamine Forever ink called Raven. That's black, but I don't have anything bad to say. I just am still using it. And so these are kind of like my two trusty black inks. So if I would have did a video on just like straight up black favorites, then it would be a short video. It would be xMusk, Platinum Carbon Black, and an honorable mention for Diamine Forever Raven. So that's why I kind of wanted to share this list of almost black inks. But before I share my list, let's get into some black color psychology for consistency's sake. So for black, on the positive side, black is associated with strength, authority, prestige, being protective, and elegance. You know, a black tie affair, the little black dress, like, yes. On the negative side, black is associated with depression, sadness, death, pessimism, and fear. I feel like that all kind of makes sense culturally. Okay, so my number, oh my God, we're not even like going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so this first almost black ink is actually a deep red hue, and honestly, it's probably the least almost black of the bunch. It does have a dramatic and gothic name meant to capture the deep and sometimes painful love of writing. Our first almost black is Diamine Writer's Blood, and I have a sample. And I think this is definitely going to be helpful to see how a swatch differs from actually, being in a dip pen, and even more so inked up in a fountain pen, because this definitely is red, and maybe this ink was also mentioned in the favorite reds video. However, once you get it in a pen, it does look really dark. Doing my Sailor Hakoto. All right, so the next one is a dark, muddy, brownish, greenish hue, and it's named after an animal that is real, but also symbolic for being mysterious and resilient. The next almost black is Diamine Salamander. A gorgeous dark green. I think this is actually one of my first bottles of fountain pen ink that I purchased, definitely in the early stages. And I don't remember it having this gorgeous kind of like tan quality in there. But then again, I was using like bullet journal, like 160 GSM, super thick paper that was just like sucking up all the ink property. So I was not able to get some of this like I'm getting now. I honestly didn't even know that this ink looked like this. So that's surprising, pleasantly so, and I may have to get it in a pen here soon. So yeah, definitely an almost black in writing here. You just get that little hint of that dark green. All right, next up, the next ink is a deep, dark blue hue that borders on teal. It was released in 2017 as a part of a series called Places of Poland. And I actually have a really cool memory of this ink, which I will share. But the next almost black ink is KWZ Baltic Memories. So yeah, I was actually gifted this ink in Italy on our honeymoon, I do believe. And we were at a pen shop there and we were just talking as you do. And the owner there was super sweet and was asking if I had ever tried Baltic Memories. And I said no. And he said, that's like my favorite blue ink. I was like, oh, nice. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. And then he just brought up this bottle and was like, no, you have to try it. You have to, here's this bottle, take it. I was like, are you sure? And he said, yeah. So that is the story of this bottle of Baltic Memories. And it is a very gorgeous and very dark, oceanic type of blue, very saturated. But it is lovely. And again, you can see how dark it is in the writing versus our swatches here. I feel like our swatches are not going to look almost black, but in writing here, especially with the finer nibs, we get that almost black effect. Next up, this ink could actually be a black, I'm not sure, but to me it's also giving purple. But when I looked online, it said black, and I don't know. But it was a grand finale to a recent advent calendar of ink. What do we think? The next one is Diamine Good Tidings. And yes, it was in the, I think, oh my gosh, yeah, the 2024 Inkvent calendar, and that was a black box. And our little ring around here looks black, but I don't know. It also looks purple, and that may be because it's an extreme sheen. But even so, we could give it to, okay, maybe I'm gonna swap here, last minute swap, which honestly, same hints. It's a dark hue that looks black, but is purple. And it was the grand finale of another Inkvent calendar, I think 2023. Let's say Raise a Glass, but I will show you Good Tidings as well. Just because I'm now seeing that this is indeed black. Okay, same paper here. This is Cosmo Air Snow. This is Cosmo Air Light. Yeah, definitely black. I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe I was getting this mixed up with a Raise a Glass. All right, and we'll leave that up here because we're gonna get some sheen on there and that's always fun. And this is Raise a Glass. Yes, this is what I was thinking, like this really dark, moody purple that looks black when you're writing. This is lovely. I love dark color palettes like this. We are starting to get some sheen with this too, and maybe that's why I thought it was purple looking, because it has like a greenish sheen and it kind of changes things. All right, this next ink also has a dark purple hue, like a violet black. Its name is inspired by a novel by Albert Camus. The next pick is Wearingeul The Plague. Also, I know that there are a lot of inks that are labeled with the like violet black, blue black sort of name, but I just thought that was way too easy, so that's why we're doing this. Oh yeah. This one's more of a muted purple, but still super dark, even in the swatch. So yeah, even with this Fude nib, we're looking black, but with a little hint of violet. Okay, the next ink is a dark, murky brown. It's actually named after murky sediment pools left behind while mining. This ink is called Birmingham Pen Company's Tailings Pond. All right. Gross. Probably not going into a pen. Something weird's going on with this ink, so I don't think it's gonna be going in a pen or anything, but we will still. How strange. It's like, I'll show you. I swear. We just get some weird things in these videos sometimes. Look how it's like catching on to the side. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get this. Oh, it's so weird. Very strange, because I have put this in a pen and I really enjoyed it. So I don't know why it's acting all goopy and crazy. Seems to be flowing well out of the Fude nib as well. Definitely want to know your thoughts if you know why this ink would be super goopy like that. Okay, the next one is a dark, of course, teal black hue, and its name evokes a feeling where the cold and the dark meet. The next pick is Birmingham Pen Company Polar Shadow. I've inked this up in a couple of Cam's pens, and I really love this ink when I want that dark professional vibe, but you know I love a teal, and so this kind of satisfies both of those desires. And I know these Birmingham company inks are sometimes hard to get a hold of, but if you can, this is a great one. Okay, our next one is a blue-black hue, and its name translates to dew in Japanese. The last almost black pick is Sailor Mano Suyu. This one is so lovely, so saturated, but we get lots of depth in that color there. And it is gorgeous in writing as well. So there we have it. Here's our almost black lineup. One more look at Good Tidings. All that sheen, you can barely see the black underneath. So yeah, I would love to know what your favorite almost black ink is down in the comments. I feel like I don't intentionally pick these up. A lot of the ones that I've shared today were gifts by pen friends, new friends, brand reps, and you know, one was an Inkvent, well, two technically were Inkvent inks that I had no say in, but I do love a dark ink. But thanks so much for hanging out with me. I'll catch you in the next one and leave you with the playlist of more ink color explorations if you're looking for specific ink colors. Bye.